I'm feeling excited. Oh, welcome to the Nurse Mark and the Green Nurse Daily Dose of AFA,
where we bring you hope and inspiration for growth and healing so you can start your day off the AFA way. And in case you've forgotten about that, this is if you're not thinking that you're absolutely fucking amazing, I think you need to pick up a copy of this book.
You need to pick up a copy of the book because you are absolutely fucking amazing. You
need to
are. There's not a question. There's no doubt. And you know, the best part is, Sherry, when you really get to that, you lose that feeling that you have to live up to somebody else's expectations. Because at the end of the day, the only one who matters is you. Your opinion of yourself is the one, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely.
We talk about it all the time. We talk about it all the time. Who do you have the most conversations with?
Me, myself, and I, right?
Non-stop. All the time. Even when you're asleep, you're having a conversation with yourself.
Seriously, no kidding. And we'll talk a little bit about that. My son, this is really cool. And we're going to talk about this a little bit later. So my son's deaf. And when he started to develop, he said, it is so loud in here. And he started turning off his hearing aids because he thought that we were really loud. Well, in a moment in time, I got to thinking, and he's very empathic, and he says he can hear people's thoughts, which is really cool. So here you go. You have a kid with sensory neural issues. He's deaf, communication issues. The world is too loud. He's trying to turn off his hearing aids. Right. And so just think about the own chatter that may be going on in our children's minds. Wow. We have no idea.
We have no idea in anybody's mind.
Yeah,
we really don't. And so it ends up being that, and this is great, and I talk about it in the book, you know, our opinion of other people has nothing to do with them. Like someone else's opinion of you really has nothing to do with you because it's made up of experiences that they had in the past. And, you know, so it's not even you.
No.
Yeah.
It's not. It is not. So the real you, there is no one more important than you. And when you can
That's right. If you want to have a great love affair, the greatest of your life, have it with yourself. Yeah.
And everything else will fall into place.
Everything else will fall into place, Sherry.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Hey, Friday, July 30th. Oh my gosh. What a beautiful Friday to be alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's a beautiful Friday to be alive.
How is it over there where you're at? How is everything over there?
Over where I live?
Everything mowed up?
Oh my God. Yesterday I had a jungle going on around my house. 6 guys with these big giant freaking saws, like literally out my window, sawing things down. And then when the show started, this big, huge, giant truck was in my driveway, shoving trees in it, grinding it.
The chipper was there.
The guys had headphones on to protect their hearing.
They have to wear them. Mm-hmm.
I was like, wait a minute, I need some of those.
Totally. Yeah, it wasn't that bad on the recording though. We could hear it, but not bad at all. So good. Yeah. Everything's cleaned up over there. Yeah.
I got a nice clean yard. I can roll around in the grass.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like a great thing to do. I might do that. Grass. I might do that today. I might go roll around in the grass.
Roll around in the grass. Get grounded, you know?
Yeah. You know, my thing is though, Sherry, my thing that really helps to stimulate my endocannabinoid system, swimming. Like I am about water. Like water for me is my thing.
Yeah. Water is so cool. Well, think about it. We're made up of water. Our skin's our largest
75% water.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And how when we float in water, what does it remind us of?
Oh, being in the womb, baby.
There you go. Water equals womb. Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Everything was so
We're home. We're home. That first 9 months, nothing. You didn't need to do anything.
No.
You didn't have to do a thing. All your food
just got to float.
Tube, you just rolled around and waited. Yeah.
So that's what I do when I take a bath. So you swim.
Oh, I love it.
Bathtub. And I imagine, you know, it's soft music, nice tea, a little cannabis. Get into that deep meditative state, floating.
Yeah.
Such a good thing. Love this.
Good morning, everybody. Tracy, Davies County, Indiana. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, welcome
to
the country. Show.
Thanks for dropping in.
Yeah.
Brian, what's up? Good morning.
Good morning. Good
So,
morning.
Sherry,
Rise and shine. Time for
Sherry,
some love.
today, time for some love. Maybe angels will give us a little bit of something, something. But,
Ooh.
today's daily love is really perfect for today. It is. It
Cool.
really is. So, it's from the Daily Word, and it's called Enjoy. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I enjoy life and its many blessings. Life is full of the most wondrous things. If I were to try to count everything that makes this world so wonderful, there would be too many to list. The more I look around me, the I find even more to appreciate. The beauty abundant in nature always brings a smile to my face. Whether the majesty of a mountain range or the mystery of the ocean, the natural world is full of splendor. Animals,
Mm.
both tame and wild, are a delight to observe. Music and the sounds of the natural world or the taste of my favorite foods give me pleasure. My family and friends, too, bring me so much joy and love. I cherish my time with them. Through it all, I feel the presence of God all around me as I enjoy the world's wonders.
Mark, it's
Boom.
beautiful.
For today.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
Here's
today.
the thing. Here's a little hug and a nug, which I really like. Because when you talk about appreciating all of your senses. So
Yeah.
here's a cool thing. So this is a way to ground ourselves. So when I get into a moment of panic or, future thinking or fear, or even situations that feel really horrible, we
Yeah.
go out, and we start to try to figure it out. So
Yeah.
here it is if you come back into your body and start to look at all of your different senses, right? What are you hearing around you? What are you seeing around you? What are you smelling around you?
Yeah.
Right? What can you touch? All of our senses, if we can appreciate our senses and just the little tiny things that they can do,
Yeah.
it's like we said, it's about that neuroplasticity. Right?
It is. You
Neurogenesis.
talked about that, right? Neuroplasticity. But you know what, Sherry? I mean, it really is true. Happiness is an inside job. So you're right. All of that external stuff that's going on and that future thinking, just bringing it back into what's happening now. What's going on with me now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
So today, enjoy.
enjoy.
That's the message.
Be enjoy. And we're going to talk a little bit now about this is a tough one. July is National Cleft and Craniofacial Awareness and Prevention Month. And so the interesting thing about that, when parents, give birth to children that have these things that they don't know about, it can be really traumatic.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to start back to the hugs and nugs. My son, when he was 6 years old, would wake up every day and he would say, it's going to be the best day ever. And he was a child that was born with a rare genetic disorder and multiple craniofacial anomalies. So this month, I'm just completing an article and a blog for Nurse Grown Organics on Cleft and Craniofacial Awareness Prevention Month. And I'm relating this to my son's story and the endocannabinoid system. So I thought that we would talk about that today because it definitely correlates how the endocannabinoid system can affect children that have these rare genetic disorders, craniofacial anomalies, and also parents that are supporting the kids that are going through these things. So it's multifactorial when you are working with craniofacial anomalies. So, Mark, July is National Cleft.
It is.
It is the awareness month is to raise awareness and improved understanding of craniofacial clefts, which is of the lip and the palate, and other conditions of the head and face. So, Mark, what do the U.S. statistics say?
So U.S. statistics are 2,600 babies are born in a year with cleft palate. 4,400 babies are born with a cleft lip with or without a cleft palate. And your son had both, plus a rare genetic disorder. And so,
he was a hot mess.
Jerry, what are some of the other craniofacial birth defects?
Okay, so some of these things have really weird names, but I'm just going to say what they are. So craniosynostosis is a skull suture and the skull fuses prematurely. There's anotia and microtia, which an ear is missing or an ear is underdeveloped, which then also can contribute to hearing loss. And then there's ophthalmia and micro-ophthalmia, where there's a missing or an abnormally small eye. So children with craniofacial clefts and other craniofacial conditions have a quality of life issues. And you think about this: an impaired ability to feed, an impaired language development, risk for eye, ear, and upper respiratory infections, risk for hearing issues, risk for problems with their teeth. And many, like we had said before, these kids that have these craniofacial anomalies often have rare genetic disorders or disorders that affect their quality of life diagnoses.
Right.
So, Mark, why is National Cleft and Craniofacial Awareness Month important?
Well, because sure, you can really understand what the risk factors are that may preclude developing cleft lip and palate, right? Because there are things like family history. Parents with a family history have a higher risk. Exposure to certain substances during pregnancy, and no surprise what they are: cigarettes, alcohol, and certain medicines as well. What else, Sherry?
Having diabetes, a metabolic disorder, being obese during pregnancy. And the other thing that's interesting too is gender differences with these kids that are born with these craniofacial anomalies. So males, baby boys, are more likely to have a cleft lip with or without a cleft palate.
Yeah.
And female baby girls are more likely to have a cleft palate without a cleft lip.
Isn't that fascinating? In the differences in gender.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just, it's interesting. So boys get both, girls generally get one. So when we talk about risk factors, why is this important for pregnant women? These risk factors.
Yeah.
Think about cigarettes, alcohol, specific medications, diabetes, obesity. They all contribute to the endocannabinoid system possibly being deficient, which means that we're not producing enough of our own internal endogenous cannabinoids to keep our bodies in balance.
Right.
So it makes sense even when you're pregnant, because the endocannabinoid system regulates our reproductive organs as well as the whole entire umbrella. It's important, and it makes sense that we take care of that system and utilize as many tools as possible while getting rid of or eliminating. So do more of what supports the ECS, do less of what doesn't.
Right.
So here's the thing: cannabinoid therapeutics with pregnant women. People are like, woo, woo, woo. But I'm just going to say yes, 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 because we need to remember that cannabinoid therapeutics is much more than just cannabis.
Right.
A plethora of tools. So when we're working with, women that come to us, it's about addressing all of these other issues first that either support or don't support the endocannabinoid system.
Right. Right, Sherry.
And so when we talk about cannabis and pregnancy, should women use cannabis while pregnant? Well, it's a very controversial issue, but if you get down to the bottom line, right, it is advised that pregnant women avoid all substances, including cannabis. Like, if you don't know, why would you take the chance of altering, fetal development? And so
that's it. That's it right there, Sherry. And it's tough. It's tough because, we're talking about women, human beings that have issues that they need to address, like anxiety or other things that they deal with. And, so if somebody's been using cannabis effectively to manage these things, then they become pregnant. It's tough to make that decision. What am I going to do? Because this has worked really well for me. And the evidence is really inconclusive, right?
Yeah. And here's the thing though, too. So I'm just going to flip it to the other side, because I am a mother. I have experienced trauma with my births and deliveries and all of my pregnancies. So I am a little biased when it comes to choosing cannabis over pharmaceuticals if needed.
Right.
I needed, at the particular time, I didn't have the information. And so when, I look back and I think about the different pregnancies and the things that I had to go through, if cannabis was an option, I may have considered it, right? Because I needed to look at the risk benefit ratio of some of the medications that they put me on. And you don't want to, even it's relatively safe or generally recognized as safe.
Right.
It's still an issue. And so when I look at pharmaceuticals versus cannabinoids and cannabinoid therapeutics, if you absolutely need a pharmaceutical, yes, but to try to avoid and do other things to allow your body, to be in regulation, auto-regulation.
Yeah. We can't be in this black and white thinking, right?
No,
Because
can't.
it's just so complex. And again, we don't know all this stuff, right?
No.
I mean, think back in the day. My mother, or your mother, mothers of that generation smoked, drank throughout the whole pregnancy, right?
Right.
Contraindicated. Now we say, oh, any alcohol taken in during fetal development could be something that's going to be detrimental. But there are thousands upon thousands of people whose mothers drank and did this stuff, right? So why, were some good and some bad? Because it's complex and we don't understand. But you're right. Anytime that we can limit what we're exposed to during pregnancy is probably better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So this is going to lead into, I'm going to open up my heart and soul.
Open it up, baby.
I love myself enough to be, and this is going to delve into a little bit of my journey dealing with a child that has a rare genetic disorder and craniofacial anomalies. So here's the thing, that my pregnancy with him, I'm going to disclose, was the best pregnancy I ever had. Okay. I felt great. I wasn't on any pharmaceuticals. I was taking a lot of supplements and eating well. And the bottom line was that he was born with a rare genetic disorder. I was doing everything I could to support and nourish my endocannabinoid system. So my son is doing great, but I'm certain, with what he went through, that if he had the ability to use CBD topicals and all of those different things, it may have helped him to completely 100% thrive a little bit quicker than he did. So he was born with branchio-oculofacial syndrome. And our family was profiled in a research journal to help identify the gene that was carried with this disorder. So, and this disorder is on the spectrum, very similar to autism, between, small to large. And my son falls moderately on the spectrum. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a second.
Right.
So, the interesting thing is, so when you think about when parents give birth to children, okay, first of all, it was a surprise. I was breastfeeding my daughter, how to get that off. Pregnancy was great, healthy, everything was normal, but then he was born and he didn't look like all the other kids. He wasn't breathing. And the things that they told me, okay, so the things that they told me, he's going to be, developmentally delayed, have mental retardation. He's deaf. He's going to have multiple surgeries. They thought he may have had a Pierre-Robin syndrome, which is your tongue is little. So he had a lot of issues. He was in the NICU for the first 5 months of his life, going back and forth between Children's Hospital to have multiple surgeries.
Poor kid.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Right now, I'll jump to the end of the story. He's thriving and he's doing really well. And this is a little bit.
He wakes up and says, "Oh, this is the best day ever." Right? That's his life. His life is the best day ever. And other people will look and say, "Oh, the poor kid," and he's like, "Poor kid, it's the best fucking day ever." I love him. That's so awesome. And I know for all you woo-woo out there, I'm just going to mention it. He truly introduced me to the spirit world, and that's a whole other show. Really, really cool stuff. And one that we should do.
Yeah, for sure. So let's get into branchio-oculofacial syndrome. And the reason I want to profile it is A, because, my son has it, and B, we got through it. And, what it might look like and what happens to these kids and how the endocannabinoid system plays a huge role. So basically, the clinical characteristics of branchio-oculofacial syndrome. So branchial is a cervical or an infrasupraauricular skin defect on a spectrum between mild and severe. So basically, a lot of them, it could be anywhere on the upper body. Very barely susceptible, but it's a thin skin or a hair patch and this big red hemangioma lesion. And sometimes it can start to weep or erode. So he had a small brachial skin defect on his right neck that they were able to correct. They had also thought that part of his thymus gland was in there, which was really, really interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah, which I thought was really crazy. Yeah. So, and I didn't really, but it wasn't. So I don't want to get into that because that's a whole long other story. But so branchial, these skin defects on a spectrum from mild to severe, and then ocular anomalies on a spectrum that ranged from mild to severe. So we talked about some of those things. Mark, do you want to just go through them real quick?
Yeah. microphthalmia, small eyes, anophthalmia, which is a baby born without one or both eyes, coloboma, large retinal colobomas, looks like a leaking black dot, or those affecting optic nerve can cause low vision, and it's not reversible, right?
Yep.
And nasolacrimal duct stenosis, or narrowing of the tear ducts, and that can cause fistula under the eyes, which often get infected and can cause excessive tearing and eye infections.
Yeah. And then facial anomalies. So hypertelorism or telecanthus is a large distance between the eyes, a broad nasal tip, upslanted palpable fissures, cleft lip, or what they call a pseudo cleft lip that gives the appearance of a repaired cleft lip. Kids can have cleft lip with or without cleft palate. Kids can have a cleft palate. They can have upper lip pits. This is the big one, and this is the huge one that my son had. Lower facial weakness. So a lot of these kids have asymmetrical faces, and it has to do with seventh cranial nerve weakness.
I was going to say it has to be nerve related. Yeah.
Yeah, completely 100% nerve related. So over time, my son, half of his face was completely becoming paralyzed, where he had a complete asymmetrical smile. His eye was having a hard time closing it. So we'll get in a little bit more to this as well. So the other thing they have too is their head looks a little big. He looked like an alien when he was born. Honestly, he had a face only a mother could love, but everyone loved him because he did have this amazing little personality, and he was a survivor. So he had a big forehead. I called it a 5-head. And he had hearing loss. So it can either be sensory neural or bone conduction hearing loss. And so think about these other things that these kids may have, these other challenges, Mark.
Right.
He had them. Yeah. What are they?
Developmental delays, right? Because he's not able to process information as easily as other people with being deaf and the other issues. Intellect across the spectrum. The sensory challenges, which is, part of it, and the pain perception. Language challenges, both expressive and receptive. Emotional challenges. Of course, social challenges, right? And integration issues.
Yeah. So the diagnosis and testing for this is based on clinical findings and confirmed now with a heterozygous pathogenic variant in the TFAP2A.
That's a mouthful.
And that's new. So I think I put a link in the comments. If you don't see it, I'll put it back in. But the link in the comments is a research paper that was written by the geneticist that followed Nick, the craniofacial team, and we were profiled. Our family was profiled in that article as the gene was being identified. So it was very interesting. So treatment for craniofacial anomalies and genetic disorders, it's multidisciplinary. Let me just tell you, every single year, there would be a huge 2-hour multidisciplinary team meeting with all of his caregivers, and he would come in, and I would stand up there, he would be there, and they would present us and the case and what happened over the year. So the multidisciplinary team included genetics, a craniofacial and plastic surgery team, gastrointestinal and nutritional services, ophthalmology, otolaryngology, dentistry and orthodontics, therapy, social services and home services, PT, OT, speech and language. And basically the treatment for the majority of these kids is about treating symptoms and improving quality of life.
Isn't that amazing? That whole team got together and it was about Nick. Yeah. Amazing.
I have the best pictures of him. Seriously, I got to put them up. They're great. With his whole team around him, and everyone, because my son was a big thing for thumbs up.
I love him.
So he was sitting there, and he had all the doctors around him, and he was going like this, just really quick, And so here's the thing: getting back to treating symptoms.
Right.
I know for a fact. This was in 2005. He's 15 now. I know for a fact he would have benefited from a tincture and topicals as a complementary tool with the traditional care that he just so desperately needed, And I know for a fact I would have benefited from cannabis because I'm not kidding. I was traumatized, you know, thinking
Well, of
about this, a son with
course.
a rare genetic disorder, two
Oh
baby,
my
two
gosh,
other kids
Sherry. I
at
mean,
home. It's a lot.
traumatized. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I'll tell you what, he showed me what it like literally, I swear to God, he's connected to the cannabis plant. He showed me what it means to be courageous, brave, resilient, how to live his best life, how to not
Yeah.
give up, to how to
Yeah.
ask for what he needs. He advocates
Hmm.
for himself. He's 15 years old. He has had over 12 or 13 surgeries. They
Oh,
fixed his face. He had a surgical procedure that was only 7 of them were done at Children's Hospital, where they reanimated his face. It's like a sci-fi movie. He had
wow.
3 surgical teams for
Hmm.
12 hours. So that's 36 hours of surgery on his face.
Yeah.
They took a muscle from his thigh, peeled his face back,
Yeah.
stuck the muscle in his face, did artery to artery, vein to vein, nerve to nerve. So it was
Oh,
microvascular
amazing.
facial transplant.
Yeah.
Only
Amazing.
7 of them had been done in the country. And
Hmm.
so going in, so he said to me one day, this is, oh my God, Mom, I want to smile like the rest of the kids. And I was like, of
Oh.
course you do. Of course you do. And so then we stepped, and
Oh.
so then we stepped into that journey. I was like, your face is fine. And he's like, I want to smile. So my
Oh.
kid took me on a journey. Oh,
Yeah, he did.
took me on a journey. And it was
Yeah.
amazing
Yeah.
just to see the transformation of
And
him.
yes. And
And
you
he's
know what?
9 years old asking for a new
Yeah.
face.
Oh. And he manifested that exact thing.
He did.
One
He
of
did.
7 in the country to have that surgery. And Sherry, it
Yeah.
goes all the way back to what we started with the daily love. And that's about blessings. And Nick is a blessing. And you're a blessing.
Yeah. I mean, literally, he is. If it wasn't for him,
Hmm.
I don't honestly think I would have been able to get through what I went through
Yeah.
with my own.
With your health. Right.
Yeah. Like
Right.
he would still show up every day in my room
Yeah.
when I was feeling horrible. Mom, it's going to be the best day.
And how can you not say, well, I guess I got to try because
Yeah. I'm
Nick's
like,
had a
look at
lot
him.
going on. Look at
He's
him.
got
He had a lot going on. And he's
yeah.
showing up in my life saying, it's the best day ever, Mom.
It's the best day ever. So I'm
That's
just going to conclude
awesome.
really quickly. He's
Yeah.
15 years old,
Yeah.
fully integrated into public school. He is deaf, but he wears hearing aids. So he's got
Hmm.
moderate to severe hearing loss.
Hmm.
He is fully integrated. He is in all honors and advanced honors. He's on the
Hmm.
honor roll.
Hmm.
He's self-taught how to play piano. He's playing baseball and he's playing football. And he doesn't have
Wow.
growth retardation. He's almost 6'3" at the age of 15.
Like his mom, a little tall.
Yeah. Yeah. So this has been really heartfelt. I knew I was
Oh,
hoping
this
not to
has been
cry, but
so amazing, Sherry.
what a blessing,
What a blessing.
you know,
That's right.
seriously.
What a blessing to hear that story and to have you share. Truly.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
tough. But I'm going to tell you all out there, you know, if you're
Yep.
going through this,
Mhm.
don't give up.
No.
You know, seriously, don't ever give up. You know, the most important thing
Right.
you can do as a parent is to take care of yourself, you
Right.
know, and
Right.
make good choices for coping mechanism.
Mhm.
And, you
Mhm.
know, and I was able to do that. But at the same time, I know that over time, I ended up on antidepressants.
Yeah.
Anti-anxiety.
Of course. You said it.
So,
It's that T word, trauma. It was
trauma.
traumatizing.
Yeah, exactly. So
Understandably so. And look, it's, cannabinoids have moved you to a different place.
yes. And that's the
Yeah.
other thing too. So cannabinoids help us to process information,
Yes.
auto-regulate our mind, body, and spirit,
Yes.
right? So we can 100% grow. We don't have to get stuck in the story. We can continue
Right.
to move on.
Right.
Cannabinoids has allowed me to be resilient and to
Mhm.
actually, you know, you go from trauma to what? Processing information to
Right.
growing to healing to
Right.
post-traumatic growth, right? Post-traumatic growth. So yeah, boom, boom, boom.
Boom.
So what a
Love,
great
love,
show.
love. All right.
Love.
So, next week's going to be a little bit different because
Yes.
Sherry's going on vacation.
Just yes.
Going to be
So
Nurse Mark 8 a.m. every day.
Yeah.
Should be interesting. Should be interesting.
Should be interesting. Well, here's the thing. There's 2 shows that are completely already outlined, which is great. And you got 3 more to go. And I can't wait to watch. I'm going to be like, I'm going to be late. I'm going to be laying in bed.
I'm going to invite some special guests on, Sherry.
Oh, good. I'm going to be waking and baking.
Why
I'm going to be
not?
sitting there. Be like, oh, Nurse Mark.
We're going to have some conversations. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I'm gonna reach out into the network and get some really interesting people on board.
That'll be good.
Could be fun.
See, there you go. We switch it up. We switch it up.
Switching it up.
Make it fun.
What the heck? Absolutely. And you get to go and not do anything related to the Green Nurse. Work, stuff. Sherry, I am gonna pray so hard for you the whole week because I know how hard it is to let go of
obligations and
doing it, right? Doing it. You get into that mode.
I love it so much. But
I know you're passionate about it, but you need the downtime to really just get your endocannabinoid system so perfectly operating.
Yeah, absolutely. Mind, body, spirit. Well, here's the thing and I just want to share this with other people. So here's the interesting thing.
Yeah.
I have been like Rapunzel, locked in my apartment for a while. So I admit it, and we're going to talk about this at another show.
Yeah.
Issues with agoraphobia, which isn't a bad thing. It's just something
it's a thing. It's just a thing. Yeah.
But cannabis is helping me to move through that.
Yes.
Right. And to change, increasing dopamine, serotonin by just doing little things to build my confidence of getting out of the house. So y'all. So it's a funny thing to admit that you have issues with agoraphobia, but you know what? I don't care because
oh my
I'm
God,
show you all how I do it.
You are absolutely going to have an amazing vacation. I can't wait. I can't wait to see you when you come back. Seriously, I'm going to have to tie a rope around your ankle and tie you to the floor because you'll be like a balloon, just like, whoa.
I know. I will be.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but I'm sure what I'll do too is because of these new experiences, I'll do little video clips and share them with you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Yeah, we'd love to take you guys with us. Green Nurse on the go. Boom.
There we go.
Yeah. So quickly before we end.
Yeah.
The community.
Yeah. I had somebody pop up on the website the other day asking about it. So I shared that too. So from some girl from Texas. Texas is in the community. Woo. Yeah, join us in that community, will you? Oh my gosh.
The Green Nurse Holistic Caring Community. It is off of social media. It's private. It's a network.
Yeah.
You can have interactions with nurses and other progressive healers. There's a free introductory to cannabis course, a free support group, and a free book club.
Yeah.
Free book club.
Oh, I forgot to tell you.
With this book.
And the gas station attendant from yesterday is going to be joining us in the community too.
Yeah, he's got a lot to learn.
Hell yeah, because I was wearing the Nurse Mark shirt, and of course that always starts a conversation. And the dude's like,
anyone is welcome.
I have to get in on that.
Here's the thing too: is if you're a gas station attendant and they're carrying CBD, guess what? You need to know about CBD.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Good stuff.
So get in the network, folks.
Get in the network.
Yeah.
Truly worth it. And we're developing new programs all the time too, which is really fun. And I'm excited to be a part of that. So thank you, Elizabeth Mack and the Holistic
Elizabeth Mack, rock star,
for inviting the Green Nurses. We have a happy new home. So excited about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So exciting. All right, guys.
Friday.
This is Friday, July 30th, 2021. You heard the daily love. It's about enjoying the blessings in life. Go forth and enjoy the blessings, children. Go forth.
And remember,
it's
the best day ever. And it is about living your best life and helping others do the same. Love you guys.
Yes, it is. All right. Love you guys. See you soon.